Design Leader Insights is brought to you by Fuego UX, a UX research, strategy, and design consultancy. Hey, Sam, thanks so much for joining the show today.
Yeah, thanks for having me. It's great to be here.
Absolutely. And to get started, can you give us a quick background on your journey in UX?
Yeah, absolutely. So I currently work at Intuit as the Director of Design System for Intuit. Prior to Intuit, I have delivered design systems at USAA, which is a banking and insurance company, as well as Cisco systems. I worked at Cisco for about 15 years and USAA for 2, and now 2 years at Intuit. So knocking on the door 20 years as a designer in tech, and just super happy for the experience that I've accumulated along the way.
Sweet. Let's jump into it. I think Intuit's a fascinating company. I know that's so many tools now, so many tech tools, but the two I always think about is like QuickBooks, TurboTax. I'm wondering how, like, maybe it's through the design system or design language, like how are you thinking about designing for users in a certain mindset using like unique financial tools, I would say?
Yeah. Whenever you deal with finances, it's always like a potentially sensitive subject with customers, right? Like it may be anything from like a Credit Karma where they're hoping they can qualify for a credit card or get a loan, or, they're trying to make ends meet, or, TurboTax where they're trying to get their biggest paycheck of the year. They're trying to get a really good return and make sure that they do it right? And don't get audited. And of course, if you're a small business owner, you're in QuickBooks or MailChimp every day, trying to acquire new customers, trying to make sure that those customers are paying you, and trying to make sure you can make your own payroll every year. So I think there's, our Intuit mission is to power prosperity for both consumers and small business owners, and we want to power prosperity throughout the world. And I think there's a specific design ethos that we need to bring to that help people design for sort of well-structured, calm experience in spite of, whatever they might be going through. So,
yeah, makes a ton of sense. And I saw recently there's some AI being integrated into the tools as well. Did you have a part in designing that experience? Like, how are you thinking about that?
Yeah, we recently launched what we're calling Intuit Assist, which is a generative AI powered assistant in all of our tools. So it goes across all of Intuit tools, which is sort of a new thing for us. We're learning how to make our tools better together and how to help our customers gain the benefit from all the tools that we offer. And Intuit Assist it's been a really awesome thing to approach from a design systems perspective. It's given us an opportunity to really codify what should an assisted experience look like, and how does generative AI play in that? And, how do we balance the sort of good things you get from generative AI? And so, we have a really interesting problem to solve, which is how do you actually blend the two types of AI together, like a generative, creative artificial intelligence, and also the sort of predictive and analytical artificial intelligence that, we've been known for in our products as well. So Intuit Assist is like a really exciting new way we're bringing those things together. And I think those experiences are just starting.
Sam, so it sounds like, like most teams right now in 2023, you were asked to integrate AI into the product, but I feel like teams can often get distracted by AI right now and sort of like over focus on that. So are there any learnings or advice you have on integrating AI into a product, I guess is the question.
Yeah, I think we're learning through this ourselves as well. One thing that I've noticed, as we've gone through the process of doing our early work here, is you can't ignore what the product is good at. You can't ignore why people bought the product in the first place.
Yeah.
So as you look at like, how will AI work within this product? How will AI influence the future of this product? You need to stay really close to like, why did the person buy the product in the first place? And, we can create all kinds of, AI fun little, what I call like science experiments, but until they actually touch on a customer problem, something the customer is really trying to solve for, and that it does it faster and maybe even better than they would do it on their own, then you've hit pay dirt.
So is it a universal design system across all the product lines then that you're aiming for? Or how are you approaching a single design system for so many different, I guess, like honestly like different business products that maybe don't have much to do with each other.
Yeah. IDS was born sort of after almost all of our products were in existence or were acquired by Intuit. And so IDS is solving a challenge that I think a lot of enterprise design systems have to solve, which is how do we take products that have a design aesthetic to them or have a design ethos to them, and how do we actually like bring them together in some way? We're doing that in IDS through sort of a foundation up approach. So we've aligned things using design tokens and using common typography, using common iconography in some places. We are sort of creating cohesion and creating more of a shared language at the sort of subatomic layer and building up from there. So Intuit Assist is like an interesting opportunity because it's sort of net new product to the entire, or a net new feature to the entire product set.
How would you advise people to measure the success? Like how are you checking in on the design system, gathering feedback, and then iterating upon that to ensure that its longevity and its success going forward?
Yeah, for us, everything we do is about our customer at Intuit, and we're a very customer-centric, customer-focused company. And we think no differently from a design system perspective about that. We ask ourselves, who are our customers? What do they need? And how can we provide that to them in the best way possible? And so most of our customers, currently are internal teams that are adopting the design system, trying to release quickly. And so we stay close to them. We do what we call follow me homes, where we go and sit with them and we get their feedback. We bring their feedback back into the team. We prioritize what they need. And, we make sure that when we release it, when we create it, sometimes with them or sometimes for them, or sometimes they even contributed to the design system through our team. But we make sure that when we're done with it, they receive it and use it and love it and, want more of it at the end of the day.
Sam, I want to talk about, like, obviously you've had a long career in tech, which is awesome. And you've also led people. How do you motivate designers? How have you found an effective way of like running a team that is actually, doing the right design decisions and providing consistent output?
Yeah, I always say empowerment is one of my highest sort of things I prioritize within a team. We bring people through the door and then invest a lot of trust in them and say, we need you to go solve these big gnarly problems. And by the way, we need you to go out and like find new problems that we can work on as well. And we trust you with your time. Like, we're not looking over your shoulder. We're not micromanaging you. You're empowered to go do this work that we want you to do. Oh, by the way, like, we'll check in from time to time. Like, we want to see the demos. We want to hear the follow me homes. We want to look at the research. And so I think it's, what you need to provide to people as a people leader. You want to provide that sort of encouragement or that trust up front, some encouragement along the way, but then also develop ways that you can, structure their work so they understand like that there's a beginning, a middle, and end to it, that, you want to have checkpoints along the way or critiques or demos. Like, make sure that they feel like they have a path they're walking. So they're just not sort of staring at a blank screen, wondering if they're doing a good job or not.
Sam, it's been, a tough year for a lot of people trying to break into UX. I'm wondering what advice you have for new emerging designers that are trying to enter the field today.
Yeah, it's a great question. And I think it's been a tough, not just recently in the economy, I think for the last decade or so, maybe we haven't leaned in enough to early career designers. We haven't opened enough for people joining design teams directly out of college. And so I guess, don't afraid to be scrappy early in your career. Don't afraid to do small unpaid volunteer internships or, like ways that you can enhance your portfolio, have some real work to show when you go into those interviews. About how you're solving customer problems, be very customer centric, I think. And then, leverage your network as best as you can, and extend your network into people that you may not know really well, or you'll be surprised at who will help you along the way. I think all of us kind of acknowledge like we had a help along the way at some point, and we're to help others as well.
Sam, thanks so much for coming on the show today.
Thank you for having me. It's been really great to be here.